All the play has come around the other side. The outturn, that's what Catlin indicating now. All the discussion in the house right now will be about how much weight do we have to throw to move this far enough. And once they settle on the weight they have to throw, then they still have to figure out where to put the broom, and that's the discussion they're having now. I think that indication the edge of the 8-foot is what Catlin figures he would need for straight draw. He's got to have enough weight here to move that Yellowstone bath. These are tough shots anytime, but especially early in an event where you probably haven't had a lot of chance yet to see how these rocks react. You know, it's one thing to draw to the button. You've seen that line. You practiced it before the game when you were looking for draw to the button path for the all-important hammer. But now he's got to throw probably back 12-ish weight. You know it's going to run a little bit differently. So Catlin Schneider with his final stone here in the third end, tied up, facing two. That stone is on the button behind cover. They're going to need to move it if they're going to score. Looks like he's got lots of room by the guard yet. Now starting to curl. Still lots of room by the guard. Now they're sweeping for as much curl as they can get. He'll make contact with the yellow. Does he move it far enough? Looks like he did. Catlin Schneider with a great final stone picks up the single point. We've traded singles throughout this game so far. 2-1 for Catlin Schneider after 3 ends of play.
I've been farming on my own right for 40 years now, I think. It's a very wholesome enterprise. You have very, very busy periods when you have to go hard. So many of our windows are so tight that you just can't afford to miss a couple days of seeding.
When a producer places their trust in us, that when it's time for them to be able to make their living, we're going to be there. That's a tremendous responsibility that is not a one-day-a-year thing, right? In order to actually deliver on that, you have to build your processes and you have to build your team and you have to have a mindset of operational excellence, because there's a lot of things that can go wrong. And it's our job to make sure that they don't go wrong. Or if they do go wrong, that we can fix it before it affects our customer.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown, live from Swift Current, Saskatchewan Curling Stadium. My name is Sean Joyce. Korey Dropkin, Catlin Schneider playing at a brisk pace here this morning. Somebody's got to tell the leads if they want to be famous. They've got to wait till the commercials are over. The guard thrown up to start the end. That Yellowstone tighter to the rings was supposed to come around into the rings, ends up short. Acts as a second center guard. Now the come around attempt to see nice weight. Did not get the line to bury. Thomas Howell being asked to make a play on that shot stone. They do have to be a little bit careful. Pardon me, actually, we're already into... No, this is Thomas. Nice gentle weight, just enough to pass it through the back. It still leaves the shooter on the edges underneath the guards ever so slightly. Do the same attempt here for, in this case, Jason Ginter. This is just the fifth zone of the end, so the no tick zone still applies. Now he would be able to move his own stone. Not that they want to be close to either, but that always affects the way you throw these when you have a situation where you can't afford to move the guard. You maybe take a little bit more ice, or in this case, Jason maybe pointed it back or threw a little more weight. Certainly was more weight than what Thomas Howell had. Makes the hit, rolls for the corner. Mark Benner being asked to make the play on shot rock for the Dropkin team with the last rock here in the fourth end of play. They'd probably be happy to hit on the nose now and leave the play well away from those guards. Indication from Schneider is they'd like to nose hit one more time as well. Need about a 5-foot roll to get in behind cover. So for Catlin Schneider, they're thinking here, you make the nose hit. You expect that Korey Dropkin's team will make a play on it. They have to be careful not to roll out of the rings. If they roll in about 1.5 to 2 feet, you would have an easier roll on your next one. They're indicating that they're going to try to make the big roll all the way in behind cover. It's high enough in the rings now that if he makes the roll, he should still be well in front of the tee line. They had picked up the brush a little bit early there, and I think the indication was that the weight was down, but doesn't get the curl they were looking for, and does get that 2-foot roll that I was talking about. Now leaves a much easier hit and roll in behind cover for Catlin Schneider. For his third, Sterling Middleton. And on the brush all the way down. Really quiet on the weight. Makes contact with the yellow, does get it through the ring, but his shooter's gonna roll all the way out the back of the rings, does stay in play. Just. So an opportunity now for the Dropkin team to try to use those two guards. Andrew Stafera skips the team, throws the third stone. Looking to try to set up the deuce here. lot of room by the longer guard. Really starting to move now. Nothing out of the brushers. There you can see they just couldn't dare sweep it to finish because it's already 2/3 to the back of the tee line. Enough room for Sterling Middleton to come down, sit right on top of it, and wouldn't have to nudge it very far to sit shot rock. I don't think he can get shot rock without nudging it. This has got quite a bit more room. And this brusher standing straight up, usually an indication this might be a little strong as well. It will slide to the back 12. Second shot. Chance now for Andrew to come down once again. He can sit right on top of his own, sit 2. We might be talking about possibility of 3 here this end. Like to sit right on top of his own, or even about 6 inches higher than his own, right in line with it. Again, a lot of room by the guards. This one's got better weight though, so they can pick up the brush, try to get it to finish that last little bit. Gets it to the 8 foot. It does sit second shot. It had to wait so long for it to start to curl. Schneider trying to decide, does it have enough of that stone to be able to make a double over the top on the 2 yellows? What you do is there's some concern that you jam it on the back one. That's definitely what Catlin Schneider's looking at. The question is, can he see enough of that yellow stone that was just delivered? Looks like he thinks he can. Tight ice here. You know he's going to throw some big weight because there is the risk of jamming it on that red stone at the back. The more weight you've got, the better the chance that even if you jam that, it probably still spins out. You'd have to be really unfortunate to dead jam it and leave it in the rings. Catlin Schneider with a 1-point lead as we play here in the 4th, in a little bit of trouble looking for a double, and they picked up the brush right away. He's got to get by the guards, not going to. The thing there was he couldn't see much more of that stone than what he needed to hit, so he had to tight ice it. Ends up flipping the guard. The Dropkin team now having to decide, where do you put the 3rd stone? Coming around to the back 8 foot initially, but still discussing it. Haven't seen them indicate any place else that they think they could go. Catlin Schneider doesn't have a great setup in the middle of the rings right now. He might have the wide out-turn draw come down and sit on shot rock. That's an all or nothing type shot. Doesn't look like the Dropkin team's too worried about trying to take that away from him. Catlin Schneider kind of looks like he's snuck over there to take a look at that draw. You would still have that same double chance in the middle, but if Korey Dropkin can put this in for third shot at the back 12 foot, even if you make that double, Dropkin's going to have a shot for 2. Rushers had to wait on the line. This is coming a little bit deep and rubs off that red stone. Does not fit third. It is fourth shot. Catlin Schneider still looking at the double. I don't think you can now. There's absolutely no way you're passing that yellow stone in the button past both of the stones at the back. An indication about trying to draw around the same way that Korey Dropkin just came in and sit the top 4 foot, try to cut the rings down that way. I think they're going to end up settling on the out-turn draw to freeze the shot stone. That's your best get out of jail shot right now, but it's an all or nothing shot. It's a very risky shot. Don't make it absolutely perfect. You're giving up a shot for at least 3, and you could leave a double on the Reds for 4. Catlin Schneider would really love to eliminate some yellows, but there's no easy way to do it. He's going to elect for the same draw that Korey Dropkin just threw. Not looking to get shot rock here. He'll look to get second. This is mostly about making sure there's no opportunity for Korey Dropkin to play any kind of double. Just in a spot where it would be hard for him to pass it by both of the stones at the back of the 12 foot. Still, it's going to be very hard to put this draw in a spot where Korey Dropkin's not going to have a shot at 3. Common to see these discussions. The discussion at one end, the shot, the ice. Now he comes down to the other end and talking about the weight with the front end before he throws it. They're the ones that have to brush it, and they've been very good this game. Big shot here for Catlin Schneider. His final stone in the fourth end. Has the 1-point lead, but facing 2 right now and dropping this last rock. Rushers waiting on this to start curling. Looking for back 4 foot here. Comes around that stone at the top of the 8. Does come to rest. Full back 4. Just behind the button. Oh, what has Korey Dropkin got? Does he have enough room? Certainly enough room to draw in front of it for 2. Well, it might be possible to move it back, but that's so risky. You throw the weight to move it back and then don't get the line. You only pick up the single. So I think it looks like Korey Dropkin going to play the straight draw, try to sit in front of it, pick up his 2 points. Great draw by Catlin Schneider with his final stone to get themselves out of a little bit of trouble here. Cut the damages at least. They have made this a difficult shot, at least for Korey Dropkin. Now, he did throw it very similar on his first shot. Needs to take a little bit of weight off that. And it'll be up to the brushers. He picked it up right away. Maybe a feeling that he took off a little too much weight. They have not left it yet. This is starting to curl as well. Boy, I think he might have pulled the string here. They're really going to have to go to get by their own stone top the 8. They're not going to. Comes up short. Great draw by Catlin Schneider to his final stone to the back of the 4-foot. Korey Dropkin not able to duplicate it, so it's just a single point once again. We're tied up after 4 ends of play.
I've got the bill.
Well, now I've got the tip.
Standard tip increased 2% this year.
That's why I keep you around. So, corn's looking great.
Well, our crop plan is working.
And we locked in that input financing at the perfect time.
Well, what do y'all think? Too blue? Not blue enough?
Try this.
Makes your eyes pop.
This could be our best yield yet.
And didn't we get this seed at a great financing rate?
Yeah, we did.
Iced tea?
Great idea. Let's talk more about next year.
I got some thoughts.
And I've got some numbers.
Nutrien Financial, financing that's in the field with you.
Fifth end underway here. The center guard thrown on the first one, and then Catlin Schneider, this time the fifth end, with last rock, electing to play towards the corner. The stone you see there in the 8-foot. This is something that you see from these top teams all the time nowadays. They'll play the odd ends a little differently than they will the even ends. You'd love to keep the last rock into the 6th. So in the back of Catlin Schneider's mind, he's already thinking blank here. Andrew Stepera ignoring that stone at the edge of the 8-foot. He is thinking he wants to see a point go on the board here, one way or the other. The other side of that now for Catlin Schneider, you know that the other team's going to try to force you, and sometimes when they try to force you, they'll force you to score 3, and you don't mind that. They've got shot stone in the ring, looking to build a tight corner guard, protect it. Alex Horvath made the draw on his first, looking to cover it now with his second. over curl just a little bit and leaves that stone mostly exposed. Chance for Mark Fenner to make a play on shot stone and try to roll behind the two center guards. Just cleaning so far, now looking actually for some curl at the end. Makes contact with the shot stone. The shooter's going to roll past the guards into the back 8 foot to the other side. Saw the indication there from Catlin Schneider. Looked to play the hit on that stone. His first thought was to make a hit on that stone, but it is behind the tee line, and the two guards are probably a little bit more dangerous. So looking for the double peel. I have to admit, I missed the indication which way he's looking to hit this. If he hits it just a hair on the right side as the thrower's looking at it, he could get all 3 yellows, but there's some danger that the top yellow goes over into your side red guard. They have had a little bit of difficulty with this other field. A little thin again, drives by everything. They had one earlier, I believe that was going this direction as well. They tried to clip the rock in the middle foot and actually caught their own. Maybe need to tighten up that green just a little bit on that turning. Mark Fenner tried to get behind that guard with a hit and roll on his first one. Now an opportunity to draw. Nice line by the guard. Puts that stone in to bite the top of the button. It does appear to be at least 3/4 behind cover. Catlin looking for the run back again. Love to make 2 go away here. There again is the outside chance of getting all 3 of them moving. A little tougher on this one, they're not lined up that well, but it is there. It's one, catches the second, does move the third one, but leaves 1 yellow stone back of the 8 foot. It is open, and no guards left on the center line now. Nothing looked at coming around the corner guard. The danger there, and that's the hesitation, is you're a little bit worried with that guard being so tight. If you make it good, you force Catlin Schneider to play the run back. If he absolutely stuffs it, you're looking at giving up 2 here. Right now, he's thinking force. So they're going to go around the wider of the 2 guards. One on the right as we look at Korey, left on the overhead. It's also probably the tougher, if you dead bury it, probably the tougher one to raise back and get shot rock behind cover. Should be back away a little bit. You don't want to be behind the tee line on this. Now picking it up. Not cool on something there. It doesn't look like it was heavy. They didn't seem like they wanted to sweep. Might have been worried that it was going to be deep. Rubs the guard, stays out in the open now. Catlin Schneider outlining the 2 options and looking for some input from the other end. Which one do you like, guys? They're hitting a long roll. Try to get shot rock, maybe even in behind cover. Or the shorter roll, the easier roll, but you won't be shot rock. going to opt for the long roll. Couple of options here. A couple of good options. You could roll right in behind cover. Even if you stop short of that, you might be in front of that Yellowstone at the back of the 8-foot. Makes it a little bit more difficult for Dropkin to pass it through. Pretty much looking for curl all the way down on that one. He actually hits it fairly thin, drives it onto that stone at the back of the 8-foot, dead jams it. Still out in the open. Shooter rolls out. And another chance for Andrew Stefera to try to draw around that corner guard. Doesn't necessarily have to be dead buried here. He settled for half a round. Has to be in front of the tee line. Rushers were on this one a lot earlier. And now switching sides, looking for curl. They rubbed the guard on the first one. This one, they're looking for all the curl they can get. Brings it into the full 12-foot. Still fully exposed, though. For Catlin Schneider, looking for bumper weight here. Still in Middleton, another chance for the hit. And long roll across. Cooper curled on his first one. A little more weight here on the second one. Makes the hit. Brings the shooter all the way across and gets a sliver into the guard. Maybe a bit of a bad break there for Sterling as he spins back into the open at the very end. It is shot rock. Korey Dropkin is going to have to roll back towards the center line here, so he's going to leave some kind of opportunity for Catlin Schneider, perhaps for a double. If he rolls too far, he might leave a draw. I'd like to make the double awkward if you can. Perhaps one of those types of doubles where Catlin Schneider's going to make it has to roll out, and you're still thinking about the possibility of a force. Halfway down, switching the sweep, looking for some curl. He has to hold the shooter. Hit that nice quiet weight does roll to the back of the 8-foot. It would be a really thin double. And a rock where if you go for the double, hit half on the first one, you roll across the top of the rings. Schneider not wanting to risk getting forced like that. His first indication was to just hit and roll in front of the Yellowstone at the back of the 8-foot. There wouldn't be a ton of separation. It would be hard for Korey Dropkin to get it out without losing his shooter, and then you've got the chance for flying. Looks like that's the shot they've decided on in the discussion is which turn do you want to play. Of course, the rock got close to the center. You probably know both paths. Which one do you want to try to make the roll with? Select with the in turn. So just looking to make the hit on shot stone here, roll over in front of what is currently second shot at the back of the 8-foot. You roll past it, you could get in behind cover, but you'd be second shot. Close to the line. They've actually been back and forth as to which sweeper should be on it, and really they missed the sweep call on that. It over curls. It's first year together for this team, so first year for Catlin and Sterling calling line at the same time together, and a little indecisive there on whether they needed to sweep that or not. Doesn't get the roll, leaves the chance for Korey Dropkin to. He hits and stays anywhere. He's probably got the force. Although, Catlin Schneider, longtime curler, Saskatchewan curler, and I've seen him play for a long time, know him quite well. If you leave a chance for him to play the double and the blind, he might have a pass at it, thinking that, well, even if we give up one, last rock in the even end might be worth the risk. So you probably want to roll this a little bit towards the broom side. Of course, Catlin Schneider to make a decision. It played like they wanted to hit that on the nose all the way. I'm not so sure that doesn't give Catlin the chance to play the double in the roll. Roll out. Quick look at the scoreboard by Catlin. He might have to hit the first one a little too thick to make the rollout if he makes the double. Throws the big weight so well, though. Hit about 2/3 on the stone that was just delivered, the stone on the button. You put the stone out of the back of the 8-foot. The question is, with 2/3, can you roll all the way across and out of play? He's going to give it a go. That's not the ice for let's just hit it on the nose and take our one. And this is where that look over the shoulder at the scoreboard matters too, because part of the thinking here has to be that, boy, if we make a pass at this and end up giving up a single point, but we keep last rock, that might be worth the risk. The risk here is he'd like to get the blank. Makes the hit, catches the second stone. Now, will the shooter get all the way across and out of the rings? And it does. Catlin Schneider, nice double with his final stone. Gets the first blank of the game here in the 5th end. He'll keep last rock into the 6th. Tied up, 2-all.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
It's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Swift Current is great because everybody that we do business with, we know on some sort of personal level.
What I love about Swift Current is the vibrant arts and culture community.
I really like Swift Current. We are not a big city, but the size of the city is really good and we have everything.
Swift Current is a great sports town, great teams and great fans.
People say, good morning, hi, how are you, even though we don't know each other.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
All tied up as we begin play here in the 6th end. Catlin Schneider with a nice double and his final stone in 5. Retains last rock. Catlin Schneider new to the team this year, but the other 3 players have been together for a while, and it showed on that shot as they knew their sweeping assignments off the contact, and it was very thick contact that he needed to make the double. Jason Gifter staying with the stone to roll the shooter all the way out of the rings to get the blank. So tough for a brusher when they have to come down on a shot like that and switch directions to sweep a roll. Catlin Schneider making his way down now to discuss that come around attempt, rubbing the guard and leaving a second corner for Catlin Schneider. The concern here, I think, would have to be that red stone is in a position where Korey Dropkin could play the hit and roll in behind cover. I don't imagine Catlin Schneider's thrilled about the idea of throwing another corner guard, though. You throw a corner guard on that side, and that entire side of the sheet is gone right now. Just early in the end to be down to half a sheet to try to score your 2. It's wide to try to come around. That might be what they're playing, though. The best result, it's a tougher shot. You probably haven't thrown this wide the entire game. Don't know that they would have thrown this wide in practice. We're on the brush early. That's what can happen when you have to go wide for the first time. Speed a little bit different, probably a little heavier out there. Fresher pebble. Comes up well short of the rings. Does protect shot stone. See enough of it to get at it. I'm not sure that they can get the roll behind cover now. It just depends on how much finish there is here. That room, I don't think they're planning to throw big weight at this. Mark Fenner on the out turn. By the front one now. They're going to get caught kind of the same way. This is having to go still pretty wide to make a play on that stone. Probably just a little bit heavier out there yet. Not enough weight to pass it through the back. He actually did get to the inside and is now dead buried. Schneider indicating they can play the red guard across the yellow guard, try to get free moving on that side. The back red would stay. You don't love peeling corner guards when you got last rock, but that's the problem with having thrown that last one, is that side of the sheet is completely gone now. You do have a chance to play the come around, hit one at the top of the 8, try to get your deuce established that way, but it's not a comfortable feeling when you know you've got to play the entire rest of the end on one half of the sheet and still hope you've got a shot for your last one. Ends up over curling the center guard, and hard to say from this camera angle whether there's room to get through there, through the port, play the hit on it. That's not something Andrew Stapera looking at right now. He'd like to come down, freeze right to the face of that, shrink the rings. This might be coming from the other end that we think we can make the port. Doesn't look like a huge hole, but there might be room. The danger in playing the port for the Dropkin team is if you ever clip that center guard, now you flip the situation. Right now, Catlin Schneider not happy with the fact he's got to play the whole game on one half of the sheet, but if you remove that corner, that center guard, all he's got is wide corners, and the middle will be open. Well, I'm not sure how democratic it was, whether there was a full vote or not, but it looks like they've gone back to the shot that Andrew Stapera had picked out initially, just to try to come down and sit on the face of that stone that was just delivered. Probably just a little too much risk in trying to come through the port. You need either one of those guards, and you really improve the situation for the Schneider team. There comes down, sits full 8 foot, just a little shy of the 4 foot, but you can see it there. That one's dead buried. So now just the 4 foot left for Catlin Schneider to try to score. He can't get at it from the outturn side, so he's got half the 4 foot left to try to score 2. And we're still only on final of the second stones. He has to be careful not to leave a double. So I have to be a little concerned that if you ever slide behind the tee line here, might Andrew Stapera try to just freeze right in front of you, and now perhaps you're looking at a steal. So this is a delicate shot here. Room by the guard. I think he went to plan B early. They didn't think they were getting by the ones in the rings. So he was hoping to sit corner frozen. He ends up bumping off just a little bit, and that probably leaves room for Andrew if he can hit that red on the outside. Red onto yellow. The 2 reds will go. Probably lose your shooter to make that. That yellow at the top of the 4 foot, even though you're going to make fairly thin contact with it, it's angled so well, I don't think it's going anywhere at all. Makes the hit. Boy, even with that angle, it does spill across into the 8-foot. It is behind cover. Dropkin sitting too, but when it does spill over like that, it does give room for Sterling Middleton to try to come back to the top of the 4-foot behind cover again. Pressures have been off and on. It looks like they want to go, but there's a lot of room by the guard. They waited as long as they could. Managed to get it in just enough to be shot rock. Still a little piece of it out in the open. They're dropping in the house now. Anders Stapera in the hacks, already down at the hacks. They can make a play on the stone that was just delivered. Hard to keep the shooter there. They leave it again. He looks at coming around and it's set on running it straight back. Probably about a 12-foot run back. You'd love to stick it behind cover if you could. First things first, you got to make contact with the rock, and the rings are going to be a little too thin on the guard. Catches the second guard. Does bring the yellow into the rings, but now opens up the center line area. That helps out Catlin Schneider quite a bit. You know you should have a shot to score. Now, how do you set up two? Schneider thinking they can get to that shot stone with enough weight to roll under cover. Sterling Middleton sitting in the hack has to be thinking it doesn't look so easy for Miss. He can't see all of that rock and has to get across the face. Stay right there, you leave a fairly easy double. They're on the brush right away. Has to come fairly tight by the guard. He's by. Now they'll switch to the other side, sweep, try to get the last little bit of curl. Not going to get the finish, though. It hits and stays right there and does leave a fairly makeable double now. Korey Dropkin looking at hitting the center line rock first. Be a little bit careful hitting that one first. If you hit the first one a little thin, you'll drive the second one into the side of your own yellow. As long as you're fairly thick on the first one, you'll be on the front end of that, front edge of that red that was just delivered. Drive it behind the yellow. Half a rock or a little more should do it. Big weight from Dropkin looking for the double. He's going to be a little thin on the first one. Does catch the second yellow stone, but enough that it spills. Just the one yellow in the rings now. There is still a corner guard for Catlin Schneider. Decision to make. Boy, I thought you might see him come around here. Glanced over there, but didn't think about it too long. I think you find there's a lot of teams in this field that might try to come around here. The theory being that it's never a bad idea to score in the even end, even if you only get the single. You're one up playing the odd end. You're really committed by playing this hit. If you're going to try to blank the sixth, and now you're tied up playing 7 again. You don't want to get forced. Makes the hit, rolls about a foot towards the inside. Korey Dropkin still thinking about the force, already looking at the angle to roll towards that red stone that's just out the back of the rings. He's got a few options over there too. If he doesn't make the roll all the way over there, could roll in behind the red corner guard, get the force that way. Needs about an 8-foot roll, actually a little bit longer because it's on the angle to get in front of that red stone that's out the back of the rings. So going to throw this with some up weight again. Hits it a little thick, doesn't roll all the way there, and gets behind cover. Can get the force that way. Solid normal here, looking for the big roll. Makes the hit on the brush to try to jump it across. Ends up in behind the cover, actually might have poked a little bit out in the open. Catlin Schneider's going to have to make a decision. Is it worth the risk to try to blank this end, or do we have to take our single now? Didn't think about it too long. Puts the broom down. He's going to draw towards the button, try to pick up his single point, retake the lead here. Nothing but singles on the board so far in this game, one blank end. Catlin Schneider looking for one more single here in the 6th to take the lead. Archers look to be just off and on cleaning it. I just like the weight. The line looks pretty good. Doesn't need to be quite into the 4-foot, but they're going to put this one right on the corner of the button. Catlin Schneider with his final stone picks up the single point here in the 6th. He'll take the 1-point lead into the 7th. Korey Dropkin will have last rock.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. Offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.
Well, what do y'all think? Too blue? Not blue enough?
Try this.
Makes your eyes pop.
This Could be our best yield yet.
And didn't we get this seed at a great financing rate?
Yeah, we did.
Iced tea?
Great idea. Let's talk more about next year.
I got some thoughts.
And I've got some numbers.
Nutrien Financial, financing that's in the field with you.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
A couple of outstanding shots to finish things off in the sixth end. A nice hit and roll by Korey Dropkin, forcing Catlin Schneider to draw to the corner of the button, pick up his single. So Schneider with the 1-point lead once again as we begin play here in the seventh. Start things off with the center guard. They come around perhaps sliding a little deep. That Yellowstone you see corner of the button. And the attempt to come and sit on top of that. A little strong, rubs off, sits on the edge of the button. Hard to say who shot rock. Not going to matter for very long, I wouldn't think. Room for Thomas Howell to make a play on this stone. Indications to try to roll a little bit to the open side here. Keep the two Yellowstones separated. Catlin Schneider, I think, and team certainly will have discussed this. They know how hard they want to go here. You want to play for a force. There might be some thought here that even if we give up two, at least we've got last rock in the eighth. And that's maybe how they play it most of the time. One of the things you have to factor in, though, in a game like this is there hasn't been a deuce yet. You really want to put yourself in a situation where you needed a deuce in eight. That might influence how you call this in. A nice freeze there. It's got that queued up on that angle so that even if the guard was gone, any attempt to hit the red can't kill them both because it's going to come into that yellow on the side of the 8-foot. Mark Benner going to look to come down. Not just sit on those. He needs to break up that angle a little bit, even if he taps the yellow back and it's not shot anymore. Right now, everything in the house favors Catlin Schneider. He's got to change this angle. Don't have mics directly on the players, but there are some mics on the ice. The sound, and it's always a little tougher to tell for sure. I heard back four. I just don't know for sure if that was our sheet. Maybe it was. Looks like he had the back four. Moves the stone back a little bit. He did leave a fairly similar angle, though. Still hard to pass that red through the rings. Catlin Schneider indicating that they'd like to come around again, and I'm not sure whether he wants to. They could bump those again, bump the red back to the freeze on a shot stone at the back. Nice line by the guard. Going to actually get just a little bit past the yellow, or maybe too much past the yellow. Doesn't get on top of the yellow at all. Ends up cornered on the red. And that leaves an angle, red to pass the stone at the top of the button through the rings. Now the one that was just delivered isn't going to go anywhere, but it doesn't have a good angle if it's there by itself. Stone just over curling for the Schneider team leaves an opportunity here for Mark Fenner. Still quiet weight. The only one he can kill is the redstone at the top of the button. That would be second shot. I'd like to keep his shooter in front of the other one, though. He might not have enough weight to pass this through. Just bumps it to the back of the forefoot and didn't leave a great angle at the front. Probably better for the Schneider team than it is for the Dropkin team. Looks to be yellow sitting one at the corner of the button. I think it's the red stone at the top of the forefoot. Second shot right now. Seems to be the indication from Catlin Schneider as well. Tough to find a way in. If Catlin Schneider wants to sit shot, probably his only way to do that is yellow-red tapped up to freeze on the shot stone, and a little danger there. You could tap it past the nose and leave a way to get it out. We're looking to move something here. Might be that what he's looking at is try to tap the yellow onto the other yellow and pop it out into the open. Leave yourself something to come in off of later. On the brush right away. We're on the brush right away for line, but this has got to go for weight as well. Comes up a little short of those two rocks in the ring, or three at the top of the forefoot, I guess. Sits in the 12. Does provide some protection, but he doesn't change the angles. Korey Dropkin might be worried about the possibility of a slash double. Really at the point in the end where it's almost too late for them to try to peel any guards. They see a piece of that red stone that is second shot. They might be able to slash it over the top of the stone at the back of the forefoot, maybe even catch it on the way by. The problem is if they make that shot this early in the end, there's room for Catlin Schneider to come down and draw the shot stone, take your entire end away. But what do you have on the other side? Like, there might be a double for Catlin Schneider right now. How do you take that away? All 4 players in the house. Just on the first or the third stones. There are a lot of stones left to come in this end. And the scoring area is getting pretty small already. They have decided they're going to make a play on the guard. It's just, you try to play this into the rings, or do you just straight peel it? I think maybe the indication when they're playing the out turn is they're just going to straight peel that guard. To straight peel the long guard, force Catlin Schneider to make a decision. Catlin Schneider's going to ask. At least one player, looks like all 3 are coming down from the other end to take a look at these angles. There's a double there, might even be a triple. Problem is, you start eliminating rocks this early and you can end up with a blank. He doesn't want that. Looking at the indication there might be the red onto yellow onto red to tap, but frozen. The angle's not perfect for that, so it's really delicate. If you tap it a few inches too far, they'll leave room to get it out. He's looked at the around the horn, hit that stone at about the 8 o'clock position, the yellow stone, come across onto his own stone at the back of the forefoot and spin up into the shot rock. He's looked at that a couple of times, still looking at it. You can see enough of the third shot stone, the yellow at the top of the forefoot, to slash it at the shot stone. The problem is that you can get rid of the stone at the edge of the button, but it's real hard to get the other one to pass through the side of the rings. There's a red one and another yellow over there that it could jam on. Possible what they're discussing now is to play that slash, but maybe not play it with as much weight. Just try to move the yellows and create a pocket where that yellow-red combination at the top of the forefoot can never leave the rings. It's an option, a very tough shot, so I think they're going to move the ones at the top. It's probably the first one they looked at. It's their easiest way to get shot rock. It's still a delicate shot. That yellow-red combination at the top of the forefoot is angled a little bit past the nose of the red at the side of the button. So you can't bump this too far or you'll leave room for Andrew Stepera to get to the inside of it. Looking for a little bit of extra curl now. Red onto yellow, onto red, tapping it up to frozen, and did bump it just a little. and didn't leave the angles great at the top for the Schneider team. If you hit red onto yellow, the yellow was going directly into the red that was just bumped up. Korey Dropkin indicating not only will it go into that, but probably spins back into the middle. He might be sitting 3 in the 4-foot and with a little bit of protection in front of them and some staggered rocks. A little unfortunate there for the Schneider team. Certainly not a great result. The angles didn't sit good for them. Looks like with that boom, they're going to throw a little bit of weight at this. Probably normal hit weight, maybe about a 9.5. Try to hit just a sliver on the broom side. Red, onto the yellow, onto the red at the corner of the 4-foot. Shooter will roll just to the broom side of the center line. Protect your yellows in the rings. You could be sitting 3 after this and not leave a good angle. Looking for some curl. Actually going to hit it a little too thin. Just touches the rocks in the rings and actually comes across, catches that yellow with the back of the 8-foot. A bit of a dodgy bullet there for the Schneider team. You got to do something with those angles. You either play the tap on your own stone on the edge of the 8-foot, try to tap it into the button area. You've got to do something with the yellows. I don't know that you can do anything direct with the yellows where you don't risk hurting yourself. Good, I guess, play the tap on the red at the top of the 8-foot. Just try to tap it up enough to leave it in the pocket of the 2 yellows and change the angle that way. Your shot going. Probably to make a play on your own red stone at the edge of the 4-foot. 2 ways you could do it. You could play it as a draw, try to tap it to frozen on the yellow at the back, or you could just play it as a straight hit. Everything at the top of the 4-foot is staggered, so if you jam this on the yellow at the back of the 4-foot, kill it. There's no real great angle to drive a stone onto the red one where it will be. Looks like he's playing it as a hit here. Hard to say right now who's got third, but I think it's the yellow at the top of the 4-foot. The advantage to playing this as a hit is you get your shooter out of the way so you don't leave anything that can come in off of it. To get at shot rock if you make this perfect. We're on skip stones here, so this is a shot where if you make it, really Korey Dropkin's only got one chance to try to set something up. He's got to try to score with his last one. Waiting on it to curl. They might see some offside sweep, trying to get a little extra curl. Makes the hit, does drive it up, and actually spins it even further behind those 3 stones staggered at the top of the 4. Definitely Schneider sitting shot rock now. Dropkin thinking he can see enough of the yellow to drive it onto the red. Certainly can drive it on enough to clip that red. Whether or not he can keep his yellow in the 4-footed or not, that's another question. Might kill both of the reds at the back of the 4. Or at least might make contact with him. He might not be playing this with a lot of weight. Doesn't really need to kill either one of those reds, just needs to get them out of the 4-foot. So looking to come down, just missed the red at the top of the 8-foot. Catch as much of that yellow in the 4-foot as he can. Drive it onto shot stone at the back button. You'll have to go over the top a little bit on that stone at the back button, so it'll make contact with the stone at the back 4-foot as well. You'd like to move both of those red stones out of the 4-foot area, and you should be sitting 2. Shooter's probably going to roll a little too hard and be sitting 3, but you might like to keep hitting the rings as well. Got one calling for curl and one calling whoa. They end up deciding that they need the curl as much as they can get. Hits a little thin, drives it by the 2 stones in the 4-foot. So now it's definitely Catlin Schneider sitting 2. Decision time now for Catlin Schneider. Can Korey Dropkin see enough of that yellow stone to angle it up for shot rock? If he can, you could always play red onto yellow, kill the yellow, sit 4. Don't think he can see enough of that rock, though. Looks like they think he can, so they're going to play that. Probably was some discussion about just exactly where do we want to hit that. Shot rock is just behind the tee line, so if you can hit this in a way so that you can take away both paths, probably a nose hit on the red. Your shooter stays right there, so then the intern path to get to the back of the button will be there, and after the red kills the yellow, it should roll to the other side of the center line. You might be able to take away both paths to get at shot rock. Indication from the brushes this might be a little more weight than what they had in mind. Looking for curl now. The hips. Maybe came across it a little bit. There's probably room for the intern draw. Korey Dropkin looking at the out turn. Certainly not a, doesn't look like there's a port there. He's looking at coming off the stone that just rolled over. Tough to get shot rock that way, but a little easier to make sure you're only giving up 1. Falling down to the hack in an indication of what it looked like to them. You can see on our screen on the left exactly what they're looking at from the hack. The shot stone at the back of the button is dead in behind that stone at the top 12-foot. There is probably room on the intern draw with the amount of finish they get here. He can get to the pin and score, but it's a very delicate shot. This looks like he's just playing the hit and roll on what is actually 3rd shot. probably conceding one here. I don't know that you'd ever dare risk hitting that thin enough. Won't be throwing big weight at this, I wouldn't think. On the scoop early. You buy the first one, as long as you're sure you're not rolling out. The thinner you can hit that second one, the better. You might have a chance to score. Boy, it spun in at the end, but I think it is still a steal of one. Nice attempt by Korey Dropkin to give it a spin at the end. Almost picked up the single. It's a steal of one, though. Catlin Schneider will open up a 2-point lead for the first time in this game. Korey Dropkin with last rock in the 8th.
I've been farming on my own right for 40 years now, I think. It's a very wholesome enterprise. You have very, very busy periods when you have to go hard. So many of our windows are so tight that you just can't afford to miss a couple days of seeding.
When a producer places their trust in us, that when it's time for them to be able to make their living, we're going to be there. That's a tremendous responsibility that is not a one-day-a-year thing, right? In order to actually deliver on that, you have to build your processes and you have to build your team and you have to have a mindset of operational excellence, because there's a lot of things that can go wrong. And it's our job to make sure that they don't go wrong. Or if they do go wrong, that we can fix it before it affects our customer.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
John Joyce with you here live on Saskatchewan Curling Stadium. We are in Swift Current for the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown. Men's and women's action on all week. First draw for the men here this morning. 8th and perhaps final end between Korey Dropkin and Catlin Schneider, and what has been an entertaining game here on this Thursday morning. First steal of the game coming in the 7th end. Catlin Schneider with the single point. Also opens up the first 2-point lead of the game. He dropped in his last rock as we play here in the 8th. We'll look to at least try to get his deuce. Catlin Schneider brought the first stone into the top of the 4-foot. When the guard goes up, and you see Schneider looking to come up. It might be a little deep. That's a stone that Korey Dropkin might have liked to freeze to. Just waiting for the indication. They're going to see the point from the skip of this team, Andrew Silvera. Going to throw the second corner guard on the other side. A little wider. Still protecting piece of the 8-foot. Oh. Catlin Schneider would dearly love to start peeling those guards. You can't. It's still just the 5th stone at the end. Gonna look to come in one more time. Trying to put some rocks in position where the Dropkin team's going to have to deal with them eventually, and you hope that you'll force the Dropkin team to eventually group their stones, and you can make a double and perhaps hold them to one that way. It does sit in a good position with 12 foot. This is, I'm expecting Stepera, when he's got room to make the hit and roll in behind the cover, he'll do that. That's the call. Possible here for Mark Benner, the way these stones in the house are situated. You could make the hit on shot stone, roll over, corner freeze on the stone at the tee line behind cover. They've switched the sweeper already, looking for some curls. This has got to move. Boy, it's moving hard though. It's the hit. Does come across, leaves himself a nice angle on that red stone. The first stone, the one that hit, stays for shot rock at the back of the 4. I believe the drop in Yellowstone, top the 8, is second shot right now. Schneider's going to start peeling corner guards. Jason Ginter with the hit, rolls the shooter all the way across, now to play. I heard the discussion there. You see him point at it. But that's your choice. Do you put it back, the guard back, or come around the other side? I don't think you're ever freezing the open one back and forth. It's going to actually boil down to what you like as far as the timing. You probably can assume you throw one more corner guard. Catlin Schneider's going to peel it again. He peeled the last one. Why wouldn't he peel this one? But how many times can you do that? If you attempt to play for the tie, you can keep doing this, because really, Catlin Schneider doesn't have much else that he can do in the rings. He doesn't have anything really available in the rings that's any better than peeling the guard. They've been a little tight on the line. They jumped the sweep on this right away. He will overcurl it. Overcurls it badly, drives it onto the redstone in the rings, and leaves it in play. It is still the red at the back of the 4-foot, sitting shot rock. I do believe the yellow at the top of the 8-foot is second shot. So a chance here for Andrew Stepera throwing the third stones to hit and sit for 2. Could try to roll over behind the corner guard. It would not be second shot if they did that. It's really hard for Schneider to make a direct play on shot stone right now. Or what would be shot stone, I guess. And the sweep on this most of the way down. Makes the hit, stays right there, so he does sit 2. Can't really make the hit on the second shot come across to make the double. You'll jam the first red, so he's going to look for the straight back double. He wants to eliminate 2 yellows here if he can. Feels a little on that one and just jams the second stone. Does leave the red as second shot right now. Once again, forces a decision from the Dropkin. Do we want to play the yellow onto the red this early, knowing that it's going to leave a lot of chances for doubles? You know what? There's probably a chance for a double there right now. Korey Dropkin thinking to play the come around for now. There is some risk for Catlin Schneider in attempting the double. It's his best way to get out of trouble as well. Probably about a quarter of a rock on the yellow in front of the red. Your shooter would come across and take that red out of the back of the forfeit. You might be able to sit 2. And that's perhaps what Andrew Stepera is thinking here. Is in order to bury this stone, he's got to be far enough over that he'd still be third shot if Schneider makes the double. Looks like they've decided to make a play on the yellow. Not going to throw it with big weight. Even just a draw tap. Indication from Korey Dropkin is they were still looking to hit it on a bit of an angle, so probably trying to move that red. Just move it back a little bit. They are still going behind the corner. This was the shot Korey liked initially. Keepers it back away. He's got plenty of room by the guard. Starting to curl now. Put a piece around the guard at least. It is 4th shot, however. Schneider looking at making a play directly on shot stone right now. And the danger of this is that if you play shot stone now, you're never going to get a chance at a double. The 2 yellows that would be left are dead across, too far spread out. You could make a play on the stone that Andrew Stepera just delivered, hit it, and roll over in front of shot rock. You'd be sitting 2nd and 3rd. He does have the double across the house. That's a little risky. Catlin Schneider with his first stone here in the 8th, looking to hit and roll behind the corner. Needs to stay for second shot. Does. Actually might be shot. Mostly buried. Definitely behind the tee line though. Dropkin's initial thought was to try to make sure he moves that stone. He could just sit on the corner of it too. That's what I'm used to Parrot looking at now. He could sit on the corner of it or even sit about a foot higher than that stone on the angle. Also looking at playing the yellow onto the red on the other side, try to spill the yellow into the back of the forefoot for shot rock, knowing that if Catlin Schneider makes the nose hit on that, you might have a double left for your last one that would be for potentially 3, I believe. I think you'll lose your shooter in like this. So looking at the overhead, the yellow-red combination on the left side from the overhead. He runs the yellow onto the red, hitting it just on the center line side a bit, the red stone. That yellow stone that he's running back will roll across into the forefoot area. Nope, he's going the other way. The initial indication was they were going to try to roll the raised stone into the back of the forefoot. See how you leave a double there? I'm not sure how you ever leave yourself a double playing it this way. You're assuming that Catlin Schneider will make a nose hit with his last one, and you're hoping for a double for 3. He ends up driving it straight back. Looks to be Schneider still sitting 1. And once again, he's got a decision to make. He's got a double available. He makes the double. The shooter's probably staying up high enough that Dropkin would have to make a play on shot stone to just move it back and get his deuce for the tie. I don't know if Catlin Schneider's looking at it, but one option as well would be to just draw. To draw to the corner of that yellow stone, as long as you don't leave a double. Even if you're not shot stone or second shot stone, I don't see how he scores more than 2. He does throw these upweight shots so well. So with that broom location, I'm thinking he's trying to throw enough weight to hit this just off the nose on the center line side and see if he can't roll his shooter in and sit 2. Boy, sit 2 off this should force Korey Dropkin into what would be a very tough double. They call the sweep on right away, though he has to catch that second stone. Makes the hit, does clip the second one, and with that big weight, is able to roll into the 8-foot and sits 2. Korey Dropkin gonna have to play the double with his final stone just to get the tie, and it is thin. Really thin. Here you see him indicating with the broom he only needs to hit about 1 inch of that rock. We've seen a couple of outstanding hit and rolls in this game. Korey Dropkin made one in the 6th to get the force. Big shot there by Catlin Schneider, not just to get the double, but when he rolls in like that, Korey Dropkin no choice but to play the double. And this is just for the tie. This is just to get to an extra end. such a tough shot. You could almost make this and still spin out over the top. Also off and on, he's close. Makes contact, hits the stone, does spin up, but it's not behind the tee line, so Catlin Schneider can only watch, and it comes to rest. Still hanging on to the edge of the 12-foot. We're going to have some bonus action here on Thursday morning. Extra ends between Korey Dropkin and Catlin Schneider. We'll have that for you right after this.
Light up your love for curling with our customizable neon LED lights from Letterlands. Choose your new neon mixed doubles partner or make a statement with a neon curling rock in your window. Also actual Letterlands. Use discount code WHOA for 15% off. Only at Letterlands.com.
We asked Saskatchewan what they know about 5G.
More speed, more innovation.
That's gonna make our lives a whole heck of a lot easier.
This is what 5G looks like.
Better, faster.
Sounds like one more G. Sounds pretty good.
I don't know what it means.
All you really need to know is the future of 5G is here and will continue improving through investments in network technology.
Swift Current is great because everybody that we do business with, we know on some sort of personal level.
What I love about Swift Current is the vibrant arts and culture community.
I really like Swift Current. We are not a big city, but the size of the city is really good and we have everything.
Swift Current is a great sports town, great teams and great fans.
People say, good morning, hi, how are you, even though we don't know each other.
So with the impact to my business and income, will this delay my retirement?
I know you're worried, Marshall, but based on the original plan we came up with, you're only about 6 months behind.
I thought it would be years, not months.
You should feel good. Remember, you've got a plan.
Thanks.
With change comes questions. See the impact of your money decisions before you make them with RBC Wealth Plan.
Extra end action here from the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown. John Joyce with you here on the Saskatchewan Curling Stadium. A couple of outstanding doubles to finish things off in the 8th. One by either team. Catlin Schneider with a nice double to roll in, forcing Korey Dropkin with a paper thin double of his own. Just hangs on to the edge of the 12-foot, picks up the 2 points he needed for the tie. The extra end has started pretty much according to script. We throw the center guard a little bit longer. The come around at the top of the 4-foot. The second center guard now, Alex Horvath will look to come around once again. Pressures have been on this most of the way down. Not able to get it by the tighter yellow guard, just rubs off it. Does leave the shooter in a not bad spot for the Schneider team. They can see just all of it, so might be able to promote it later on if necessary. Mark Fenner's going to look to come down, sit on the base of shot stone right now. Might look to move it behind the tee line as well. This is the 5th rock at the end, so the Schneider team going to start looking to move those center guards on the next one. Not going to have the weight that he needs. It doesn't get by either. Let's leave a third rock in front, or tight in front. Schneider's going to walk up and ask Jason Ginter to remove the long center guard. I expect you might see Andrew Stapera ask him to put it back. Well, he's looking at the come around already. Call from the other end comes. It's too early for that. Play the center guard one more time. Probably a couple more at least. But Catlin Schneider's going to field them. You do have the one yellow that you could promote at the shot rock, and there's yellow red near the center line are overlaps, so you can use those like a guard. Just want this high enough that there's no chance for Catlin Schneider to try to move it into the rocks in the rings to get a couple of them flying. Might slid a little tight. He's not going to look at it. Just asking Jason Ginter to straight peel the guard that was just thrown. Slide another one that tight, you might see Schneider ask for the peel attempt to go over the top of the red in the 12-foot, but try to clip it on the way by. That red's not helping you where it is, because it was staggered with the yellow in front of it. You probably wanted this rock a little bit higher. You saw the brushers jump on it right away, so they might have felt like the string a little bit, but it looks like it's going to come into a nice depth. Has good line, lined up to that stone in the center line. Middleton looking for the straight peel again. Decision time for the Dropkin team. This is all about the time. You could throw one more guard, or you make your play into the rings now. Going to play the center guard, and I think this comes down to with the way those two stones at the middle are staggered. You know that Alan Schneider will need two shots to deal with that, one to get rid of the stagger and then one to play the shot. So you don't want to play it while he's still got three rocks left to play. You play the guard now, let him peel the center, then you angle your stone up in behind those. Has to line this up with the stone on the center line. Doesn't want to leave any kind of chance for Catlin Schneider to deal with that stagger right now. And this is always that fun part, that cat and mouse game. And of course, Catlin Schneider knows what they're thinking. He knows that if we simply peel the guard one more time, he's going to angle this stone up, and we're not going to have enough rocks left to deal with it. So we better deal with the one in the 12-foot. Question here, almost you think, where do you want to roll with this? Probably room on the out turn for Dropkin to come around everything to the back of the button behind cover. Looking for curl early. Looked like Sterling might have set that back just a hair. Actually clips the center guard onto the red stone. Moves it back. It is Schneider sitting 2 right now. He's left a port to the shot stone as well. Korey Dropkin, you can get through that port, get to shot rock, perhaps roll under cover. Stone that's full 12 foot, the yellow stone that's full 12 foot, really has taken away the path that Catlin Schneider might need to draw on the intern side. We're on the brush early now, looking to switch sides, get a little extra curl, wants to get the flop in behind cover. Does flop that right to the top of the 4 foot. It's not dead buried, it's close. Schneider looking at playing the port, I think. I thought we might look at the slash. The thing about the slash is even if you jam it on the red over on the side, you open up the intern side for the draw for your last one. I think he's looking at drawing right now. He's just talking about what have we got right now on the last one. I think he thinks he's got room to get to the edge of the 4 foot on the outturn side for one. Doesn't really have anything available on the intern side right now. You can see a sliver of the shot rock, but you're going to lose your shooter. When Dropkin comes around to the outturn side, you don't have anything on the intern. He likes it. That's what he's going to play. Can't see very much of that stone. We have seen a lot of the draws come this direction in the game. So playing this in turn towards the center on the odd ends. He should know the line. Doesn't even necessarily need to get it out as long as he moves to the back of the 4 foot. Ideally out in the open. Might give him something to work with the last one. Might have had a little bit of an outward motion on the release, called them off right away, and already looking for curl. Starting to move, and they might have made this curl too much. Boy, gets by the top one, and enough to move it back. It does clip the edge of that red stone. Yellow stays for shot rock. was probably the best he could do with it. Does leave room for Korey Dropkin to play the out-turn draw. Try to get right around that yellow stone at the top of the 12-foot. Now he does have the stone at the back of the 8 that it's shot stone right now, and that means that if you're only just nibbling the 4-foot at the top, Catlin Schneider can't come down to the stone you're about to deliver. He wouldn't be shot rock over the one at the back. He doesn't have anything on the in-turn side, so this is one where you have to be careful not to try to make it too good. You certainly wouldn't ever want to slide behind the tee line. That's probably the only way you leave Catlin Schneider a way to score here. You're short of the rings guarding that stone. It's still not an easy shot for Catlin Schneider. Doesn't have a path to the 4-foot right now. Hear them indicating they like the line as Coopers have picked up the brush a little bit. This is for weight now. Boy, it's really busting towards that stone at the top of the 12-foot, and something happened there. They seem to like the weight, and then that was gone. Maybe a little fudge down the middle. You can see them cleaning it up. I think maybe it picked. Catlin Schneider has second and third, and you can see half of that stone. Looks like that ice, he's going to play it fairly quiet, but I think enough weight to try to move that back stone. And one of the things that has to factor in, you certainly could look at the draw here, you'd think about the draw, but after having watched that last stone pick, or perhaps fudge on the way in, you might not be comfortable throwing a straight draw in the extra end like this. You just watched your opposition with a stone that looked like it was coming in nicely and died. Tighten up the room now, so you have to think he's throwing the halfway there. That's certainly not enough ice to play it as a draw. Ball has gone out for clean. Now looking for some curlies by the front ones. Comes down, does hit that stone at the back, rolls across, picks up 3, only needed the 1. That gives Catlin Schneider the victory here this morning. They'll move on in the A event. Korey Dropkin will move down to the B. I want to thank everyone for joining us here on SaskTel Curling Stadium. We will be here all day, every day, right through Sunday. Men's and women's action from the Nutrien Ag Solutions Western Showdown.
We feed the world with Nutrien, and a large portion of what our job is to get fertilizer out with the carriers so they can get directed to the farms or to the different retail locations. We know that if we don't have the answer to something, we're not afraid to reach out because we have support from everyone. We've got a really good team behind us.
SaskTel Be Kind Online wants to stop cyberbullying. Want in on the action? We award up to $1,000 for youth initiatives that help spread kindness and prevent bullying. What great idea do you have to help stop bullying? SaskTel can help. Go to BeKindOnline.com and apply for a grant today. Together, we can make a difference.
Imagine being able to stream every curling game from every sheet from any event, be it your Wednesday league game, bonspiel, or corporate event. Curling Stadium offers an all-inclusive streaming solution featuring high-quality cameras, ease of use, great reliability, and minimal installation. offering your sponsors customizable ad space on your streamed curling games and being able to sell video packages to your corporate events for increased revenue. With Curling Stadium, you can stream to any device, be it your mobile phone, tablet, or computer. Push the feed to your desired platform, be it Facebook, YouTube, or any other social media. Curling Stadium is simply the way forward. Where it's commonplace in other sports to televise every game, we want to do the same. Curling is a global sport, and it's time it gets the coverage it needs. Make your curling club the next Curling Stadium.